My Hero Academia Cross Ultra. Manga, anime, news, and more. Cross Ultra.
Hello and welcome to episode 130 of the My Hero Academia podcast. I'm Kendra, and today I am joined, I guess as per usual now, I got Benjamin Banks in the house.
Yo, what's good? It's me, your homeboy, Benjamin Banks, the number one hero that wants to be a hero. Yeah.
Nice. And we have returning guest, first time in a while, Jay Purier.
Hello. Good to be back.
Glad to have you on. And we have again YouTube sensation, Mr. Worldwide.
What's good? How's it going, everybody? It's your world champion here. I am the almighty Benjamin Banks' Deku here again
Hey.
on the podcast.
Hey, real talk, guys. Wayne did get this All Might hoodie, and then I had a Deku hoodie, and I was just like, yeah, now Wayne can be my All Might. So yeah.
Yeah. When I get down there, I'm gonna be wearing this shit.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice. Yay. So I guess you gotta pass on your power and focus, or just throw some hair at him.
Yeah, I have this big hairball that I'm just gonna toss at him when I see him. I'm be like, yo, what's up, Banks? And just like throw it, just like yeet it right at him.
No. You want to know what that reminded me of? Remember, what is the movie? I think it's called Date Movie, where they're doing the scene from Along Came Polly, where Ben Stiller was playing basketball with the guy, and he was shirtless, and like he had a bunch of hair on his chest and his body.
Yeah.
Y'all remember that scene? But look, in Date Movie, it was like they spoofed that scene, and Eddie Griffin had he pretty much had a giant hairball in his mouth after he brushed up against the guy's stomach. And like this, I don't want to do that because I'm gonna choke. I'm gonna gag. Like Deku just had to swallow a single piece of hair. Like I'm not trying to swallow a hairball.
Yeah.
The more hair you eat, the faster you drink. Maybe?
I don't know.
Wow.
That's a lot.
But today we're going to be talking about the future of the series, or kind of just our general thoughts on the direction it might go, and kind of just some general kind of mysteries. But before that, because there is no chapter this week, sadly, if you didn't know that already, surprise. And we also have a little bit of news, mainly that Vigilantes number 8 is out, and that's the flashback mainly with Eraserhead and Loud Cloud, which I definitely recommend reading, especially because like it kind of ties into all the Kurogiri stuff we got already. And also that the volume 27 is coming out in April, so we got the cover reveal for it, but we've got to wait a while for it, but COVID. And I just need to, and also it was Horikoshi's birthday on the 20th, so hopefully everyone sent Horikoshi good vibes. Maybe we're on break because he had his birthday. Or I guess no, that wouldn't make sense. Never mind. Because like they're like kind of 2 weeks ahead of us or whatever, whenever they were actually making the chapter. I don't know. I'm speaking words.
No, you're good. And happy birthday, Horikoshi.
Yay! Go Horikoshi.
Yeah, he's 34 now, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's so young!
He started My Hero when he was 27. Think about that. Like, that blew my mind.
Oh my god.
Yeah, somebody had put a post up on Facebook when they found out that Horikoshi was 34, and they was just like, I'm 32, like, what am I doing with my life?
Yeah,
I think
I'm just like, wow, he's more successful than I am when I was that age.
I think about like when I first turned 26. I believe that's the age Kakashi is in the beginning of Naruto, and I'm like, I finally get it. I too understand Kakashi. I wouldn't want to be part of like a group of 12-year-olds. I just want to read my horny book and just be left alone.
It is a really weird sensation when you like reach the age of like the adult in the series that you really liked. Where it's like, oh yeah, like in Haikyuu, it's like Coach Ukai, you're like, oh yeah, you're like young. You're not.
It's definitely a crazy feeling, and you know, like even when you watch like TV shows and stuff, like older shows, and just like, man, I'm the same age as this guy from this TV show.
Mhm.
Like, now I understand how he feels this way.
Yeah, but at least when we reach our 60s, we can say we're the same age as All Might. Or our 50s,
Yes.
however old All Might is. A mystery number. And we got a little bit for our UK listeners, for Sophie out there, that seasons 1 and 3 of the box set of My Hero Academia are going to come out November 30th, which is kind of cool. Woo. And we did have a little bit more information about one of the video games that's coming out. I'm just clicking through stuff trying to find it. In The Strongest Hero, the mobile game, it actually has, it looks like player versus player, which is really
Yeah,
cool. And
it's an action RPG. There's like part exploration and also like 1v1 combat. I believe it's coming out in Eastern Asia next week, I believe, December 3rd. I think I could be wrong about that, because I know they're still developing it. Because that's the news you were getting to, right, Kendra? That they just unveiled a new character for it.
Ooh. I know who's the new characters. I know that we see like there's a lot of 1A. I think also.
I think Momo was the newest addition.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. It's an interesting. I'm sure it does like develop it over time, but for a mobile game, it looks pretty good.
I really wanted to come to like Kent or like North America, basically.
Yes.
It looks pretty good, but I guess
Yes, please.
Because even like
I was just gonna say, please, just take my money. I will throw all my money at it.
'cause One Justice got like the English dub even.
Yes.
That was so
Is that
surprising.
Yeah, so I feel like we'll probably get it like 3 or 4, like 5 months from now or something. Like, and who knows? I don't know.
I mean, we didn't get the first mobile game, the Smash Tap game. That I used an emulator to play that. It's pretty fun. I got like a 5-star Momo cheerleader pull, and I was like, I don't know if I want to play this game anymore. And it stopped.
Aww.
I'm sure she was a good stat, but I was just like, man, my like 3-star normal Momo in hero costume is bad compared to the one in the cheerleader outfit. Okay. I guess that's how this game works.
That's what happens when Moneta develops the video game.
Oh, that was a thing too. Like, again, Horikoshi just trolling his fans, I guess. When that game first came out, he was like, finally, I have my party of just Monetas, and no one could tell if he's like being serious or not.
Was Koda the playable character in this game?
I think he was. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you could get him. Why?
oh yeah, Banks. Or sorry, Jay. You like Banks or Banks? Do you want to explain your feelings?
Useless.
Here we go again.
What is he gonna do? Like, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Somebody playing 5 Kodas? Like, I just.
He could like
He's
stick
gonna
a bear
cause
on you, I guess. Or
Yeah, he can cause a stampede, like what happened to Mufasa in The Lion King.
So now you gonna? Also, what you saying? If Koda was there, he could have stopped. He could have stopped that stampede from killing Mufasa.
He probably could have. He would have been like, "Stop!" and they would have been like, "Oh, yes, sir."
I mean, that's the hope. But I still kind of would imagine he would yell at them and plead them to stop, but the stampede would be like, "We hear you, but we're still gonna keep going."
Look, mark my words, Koda's gonna be the #1 hero.
Oh, no. I don't know if you guys watch Hunter x Hunter, but I just got to the Chimera Ant part.
Oh, shit.
I'm sorry.
The whole time I've been watching it, I'm just like, I wonder, like, if Koda was in this universe, would he be able to stop these chimeras from killing people?
Oh,
And okay, so he wouldn't. All right, no.
I'll argue maybe.
They would kill him.
He could maybe stop them if, like, because they become more human, because like as they eat, like, and stuff. I don't know how far you are in it, but like I feel like you could stop.
I just got to the part where Gon is teaming up with the lizard guy that can turn invisible.
okay.
So I feel like maybe in the early stages he could have stopped them, but maybe not as they become. I guess it just depends. Can Koda stop?
Right.
Are humans creatures or like animals.
Yeah.
We can have a Coda podcast, but basically Banks hates Coda because he's useless.
Yes.
It's a hate relationship. I was gonna say love-hate, but it's just hate. And we actually have some late breaking news. This is actually being added in after the fact, so you won't hear the others, so it's just me. That we've got some rumblings of something going on. 3 big My Hero Twitter accounts. The official one for the anime, the one for the movie, and the one for the manga. The phrase in 3 parts, he will meet the 3 Musketeers. So it might be a movie announcement. It might not be. We don't really know. But we get this really cool image of the 3, Todoroki, Deku, and Bakugo, in some really cool color-coordinated outfits with a WHA, or I thought it was an NHA at first, but it seems more likely to be a W. So who knows? They're the 3 Musketeers. They're here to kick your ass, and they've got a sword. They're not carrying swords. I wish they were holding swords. But hype! We don't know what it means. Woo. And now back to the episode. Did we want to talk about first maybe kind of the mysteries? Or I guess we can also... I guess before we go into the 2 I have listed, what do you guys think? Like the main... Or I guess maybe we'll go through the ones I've written there because you might say the same ones again. But yeah. I put down for mysteries the 2nd and 4th users of One for All. Just because the 2nd user, I'm just really confused and curious how the original user even realized they could pass it on. Or how to do it. So I do wonder if and also the 4th user, just because All Might was like, oh, there's something mysterious about them, I don't want to talk about them too much. And they were also maybe trying for victory, like something weird happened with them and maybe they went a little bad. And then also the traitor, because who the hell's the traitor? But were there any other mysteries you guys want to touch on? Or thought of? I did not give you guys much notice, so I do not blame you.
No worries. I think these are good points to start off on.
Yeah.
I'm still in the thinking lane of that one of the One for All users, whether it's the 2nd or the 4th or any ones that we've maybe already met, have been a villain.
Ooh.
I feel like I mentioned this on the previous podcast before, but when Redestro and Destro were introduced, I was convinced that this was like they were the original Destro was a One for All user, and that was a villain, and then Redestro kind of had like a spawn of like just the strength building part of the quirk. That obviously wasn't the case, but I'm still latching onto those feelings, and I'm hoping for a One for All user that wasn't all about heroics or the good of others, or maybe they discover it later in their life. Well, too late maybe, but I think it'd be interesting if there was a user who used it for nefarious purposes.
I think it'd be cool. I would really like it if one of besides All Might, one of the users was still alive. I know like All Might was saying that like, oh, most of them died young. It'd be interesting if maybe there was like one that like faked their death, or they were like, or they just lived out normally. I guess I just really like Yu Yu Hakusho when we saw the old detective lady.
Genkai?
Genkai.
No, I mean the other.
I know who you're talking about.
Which one?
Yeah.
I forgot her name, but I know who you're talking about. She was the one.
Before Sensui.
Yes, the one. Then she trained Sensui, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But she was just like, she basically just retired normally. She got married to like a dude who was like an author or a poet, and he was really creepy. But he wasn't actually creepy. He just gave me weird vibes. But I just thought that was really cool. So I'm like, I really want like another user to just be like chilling and be like, hey, but I did it. It wasn't that big of a deal.
Well, I love the idea that you just brought up of, another user being around. I doubt that there are any survivors left because, what All Might had said about All for One killing the users. But I do think that there are family members of the survivors, just like Shigaraki is the grandson of, oh man, I forgot her name. I'm sorry. Please forgive me.
Nana?
Anna. Yeah.
Thank you. But, yeah, I do think there are some family members that we might come across later on. Like, I'm pretty positive that the original user of One for All had a spawn somewhere. Like, I hope he does.
Their name is Toda.
Oh, there it is. It comes full circle.
But like, you see the second, or okay, we know quirks are passed on also genetically. So like, if someone had a kid while they had One for All, what would happen? It would probably only be their, sorry. It would probably only be their, like, whatever their actual quirk was. And then, unless they, like, distinctly willed it onto their child.
Yeah. Yeah,
that's the only thing.
That's how that would work, cause, like, yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I don't know, I'm thinking aloud a little bit here. And also, another thing would be, the second and third users, or, we saw the silhouettes, and two of the silhouettes look like Bakugo and Kirishima.
Yes, No. I'll say Bakugo and Present Mic.
But there's definitely some spikiness going on.
Yeah.
But
I really hope it's not them.
Yeah, I don't want there to be like time travel shenanigans.
Yeah. It's a cute fan theory for sure, but like, and it is nice to see everyone get excited about that idea. But I don't know. It just won't. It much like a recent reveal, it won't do much for me personally.
Oh yeah, we didn't. I guess we didn't really have you on for that. How do you feel about the Dobby reveal?
I don't care. I'll be real. I said so in the chat, the group chat, guys. I'm like, I can't believe this punk interrupted an entire war just to drop his latest SoundCloud album. Like, I was like, wow. And I'm like, how much more Hot Topic can he get? He just pours straight up bleach on his hair. Like,
makes sense, yeah.
I don't, or whatever he did. I was just like, this is weird. I like the art in those chapters. Really crazy. Like, he's just, for a chapter that's pure information, every panel looks gorgeous. And yeah, those are my thoughts. I'm happy for the fans. I'm happy for the Toya Todoroki fans. It's fun seeing their fan art and excitement, but I just want to move on. I just want to see. I just want to get back to, I don't know. Where's Redestro? What's he up to? Where's him and his big old nose up to?
He's dead.
No, he's fine.
Yeah, he's not dead.
He's fine. He's fine. He's gonna get another new leg and he's gonna get more stressed out. Who knows?
Yeah. I guess for me, I'm still interested in Nayo. I don't believe that he's Toya. I think he thinks he's Toya maybe, or he's just like doing an elaborate lie thing. But it doesn't really do. He's like, I don't know. New people keep joining the fight, and then the fight's gonna start. I'm just like, there's too many people here. Like,
well, that's what happens when you have a society full of heroes.
Yeah.
You know, people are just gonna keep coming out, and that's why. The end of this arc. That's what I'm most excited for right now. Like, I'm happy with what we've got and all that, and I don't mean this like as in I hate this arc and I want it to end. But I'm more interested in the fallout of this arc more than anything.
Yeah.
Because, go ahead.
Or, that's what I was saying, we could maybe we'll jump from mysteries, because we can jump back into that as well, but possible futures would be end of heroes, like.
Yeah, that's what I think is gonna happen. That's what I had said last week, because of, everything that's going on in the hero world. It's gonna kind of be something similar to Civil War, where it's like you're gonna have these heroes that are gonna be like Iron Man, and then you're gonna have these heroes that are like Captain America. And I think that's what's gonna happen. And then maybe when that does happen, you'll see some of the characters from Vigilantes that haven't appeared in the main My Hero Academia series finally appear, because that's what they are, technically. If I'm correct, I haven't read Vigilantes, but that's what I'm, and it's like there are heroes that didn't go to UA, but they want to still be heroes, but they don't have hero licenses, right?
Pretty much.
Right. Yeah. Pretty
Okay.
much. So I think we are going to get like a deconstruction of this hero society in a lot of ways. I think I said it last week. It might have been last week. I don't know. But you know, hero society is definitely not going to be the same after this. You know, whatever happens to Endeavor after this is going to happen, but we're not going to have these fun little top 10 Japan Billboard charts anymore. No, things are going to get a little more serious. We're going to have, I forgot what the actual organization is called, but it's the people that were there for the provisional license exams playing as the victims.
Oh!
Yeah.
I think they're gonna make a huge play at the end of this arc, for the aftermath of this arc. Like, cutting more into, you know, hero work, kind of like what you were going at with Ben, about, like this whole Civil War kind of aspect of it. I think we might get a little bit more of like vigilanteism in the world. I don't think we might see some people from Vigilantes, but if I'm being honest, I think at the end of that series, they're just gonna live a normal life. I mean, they might come out of, retirement, so to say, for all of this, but I think we're also gonna see a divide of the people who wanna be heroes and people who don't wanna be heroes anymore, because we have a lot of people that wanna be heroes, like, I'll take Mineta, for example. Mineta, he wants to be a hero because he wants to be popular and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Where, you know, because we see examples of this because he's a very cowardly hero. He does, like, yeah, he'll go in on, like, saving the day and all that, but after this war, the way, like, we see his reactions with Midnight. You know, hopefully not, God rest her soul, but, but, like, we see that with Mineta, and we're probably gonna see that with a lot of other characters, too, where they're just like, well, I don't know if I can be a hero anymore if this is what's gonna happen. Like, how can we bounce back from all this? Like, so we might see a little bit of a divide with that. I don't know if we'll see that more in 1A, because I think they're a pretty tight unit. So I don't know how much of it we'll see in 1A, but we might see that, like, in 1B, maybe in the rest of UA, because not all of them are heroes as well.
Yeah.
Yet they keep getting targeted and all that. So I think that's where we're going at with after this arc, with that aspect. But I'm gonna shut up now.
I do wonder if maybe we'll get, like, parents pulling their kids out of classes, like, against their will. But, Jay, what are your thoughts on the possible futures?
That's really interesting, the idea. I didn't think about, like, students not wanting to be heroes anymore after this. I really like that idea. It would be very interesting to see, like half the class, like, leave, and, you know, decide to be vigilantes, and the other class still focusing on trying to be heroes, like, you know, be proper heroes in their eyes, or in this new future. I think, though, for the tone of the show and the series is, it'll be one of those things where, yeah, like, Class 1A, everyone will stick together. Like, you know what, despite everything, I still want to be a hero. While, you know, the business students are like, the stocks are plummeting for hero business, I'm out of here.
I forgot about them! Yes, I want them to come back, or leave, I guess leave.
I am still hoping that one student leaves from Class 1A, who knows who, or maybe a few, one of them possibly being the traitor, and then Shinso taking their place. I really want that because, you know, the end of the joint training arc, they said Shinso would join the hero course next semester, and they're like, Class 1A or Class 1B, and they said, we'll discuss that later. And I'm like, he's gotta be in 1A. I would be so sad if Shinso was in 1B. I don't know, just trade someone out, please. Like, I really want Shinso to... I want Shinso to I don't know, like, be close to the heroes that he admires, and that's currently his peers of Deku and that in the Class 1A, right? After this arc, definitely Hero Society's Dunzo. Dabi even, like, showed that footage of, like, Hawks murdering twice. And it's super brutal, and, like, the way, like, Skeptic edited. Now we understand why Skeptic is with them, which is great. that like heroes, even though they do good, quote unquote, they are like sadistic and murderous and, you know, violent. And it's like, are these people we want to idolize? With this hero society gone, and I feel like the villains have to like somewhat take over maybe. Because I'm still hoping for, the villains take over UA, like completely, and the students have to go into hiding. Which, you know, if they do go into hiding, then that's a good opportunity to meet the vigilantes, you know, like Koichi and Popstep and Knuckle Duster and all of them, just like teaching them how to like, you know, do good outside the law in a sense.
Yeah.
But aside from those thoughts, I was more thinking like, wow, like this conflict with Shigaraki is over, but he really totaled everyone despite being like KO'd himself. This makes me think for the future that there is going to be a point where Shigaraki is going to be like a Voldemort situation where All For One takes over Shigaraki's body. Like his whole goal was never to really raise Shigaraki. He claims that, but he's like Voldemort, Orochimaru, Naruto, whatever reference you want to do. He's like just prepping Shigaraki up to be his next vessel, and that's how he passes on his legacy. Because it's like I thought it was very interesting that the idea that like All Might want to train Deku to be like his successor, and he's so focused on that. And he wants to keep him close and guide him correctly. Well, All For One lets Shigaraki do what he wants to do because his way of teaching is like, you need to learn everything on your own. But I feel like with All For One, the whole dream sequence, I guess, of meeting Nana and All For One in the astral plane or whatever of One For All. All For One's plan to completely like take over Shigaraki, and there's gonna be a moment where Deku and Shigaraki have like a bonding moment within the astral plane or wherever, and Deku's gonna try to like reach out to Shigaraki and try to save him, similar to how he tried to save Bakugo from like the slime guy in the first chapter episode. And it's he's gonna rescue Shigaraki, and it's gonna be a showdown between Deku and All For One. I don't think Shigaraki's meant to be the final villain anymore.
So I wanted to piggyback on some of those. Like, I'm just sitting here like getting like, ooh, you mentioned this, you mentioned that. So first thing, the UA takeover. I had the same exact thought. Like, okay. Because this lines up with my thing of All Might actually dying and Eri getting her quirk stolen, which we'll talk about later. And then, you know, the villains taking over UA. But I saw it today, and I'm more inclined with this one as well. I think I saw it on Twitter or something. Banks, maybe you post or retweet it. I don't know. It was something along the lines of, because a lot of people are speculating, there's going to be a Prison Break arc coming up soon, you know, with the villains and all that stuff. I don't necessarily think that's the case either. They could take over the prison. So they can have like a prison takeover, and that's their base of operations. Because we get this whole, we have this whole idea of, you know, Tartarus is this almost unbreakable, you know, force, you know, that the villains are incarcerated in. So, what better place for the villains to be at, other than UA, would be Tartarus, the prison. Which also leads me to my other thing. I think Shigaraki is killing All For One. Not only physically, but in that other realm too. Because we see that the decay was affecting All For One in that other realm. Because All For One right now, he's so obsessed with getting his younger brother, getting him back, getting that power back. And throughout this whole fight, we're seeing Shigaraki battle that, because Shigaraki has other ideas. He has other plans that he wants to do. So his master's getting in his way. So yeah, even though he can kill him physically, which he could still do, he's also going to kill him in that other world to fully get rid of him. So that way the All For One power is his to command.
I do wonder, like, would he just lose the quirk, though? Because, like, we know that, like, because All For One was saying that when he takes someone's quirk, he's, like, haunted, or, like, he has, like, dreams of the user, like, berating him. When he passes it on, the dreams stop. But if you kill the person in the dream, does the quirk go away?
And see, that's the thing we would have to figure out with that.
Yeah.
But see, that's the other, like, I guess that's the thing we'll have to figure out.
Yeah, I would say probably not. Like, who knows?
Yeah. Because I mean, that's the thing. Like, we don't know all because I don't think all because this is the original All for One, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
The original, yeah. So we don't know what happens if he's gone. Because like I can, we can tie this into like Avatar with Korra, because she got all the previous avatars away from her, but she was still able to like get into the avatar state using all that power. So it could be a situation like that where yes, she can't connect with the previous ones, but she still has the power that she can use. So it could be something like that as well. Yeah, I think that was all of it. Yeah, 'cause sorry, I was just like sitting here excited. I was just like, oh yes, I want to talk about this now.
I guess I would really, you mentioned Knuckle Duster, kind of like the Vigilantes. I really want either like a quirkless hero or a quirkless villain to come into play would be really cool. I guess I just want Amon to show up and be like, screw all you quirk people. I'm quirkless. Get dunked on. But,
Don't.
yeah, he just turns into Sans. But, I guess I also just want that. I just want Knuckle Duster to be Batman and just beat people up. And I would say I'm definitely maybe leaning towards Shigaraki, like, destroying All for One. Cause, I don't know, there's always kind of interesting twists that Horikoshi does, like, mainly All Might not dying at Kamino, and be, like, actually staying alive and actually continuing to teach Deku. And it's like, I think My Hero is kind of like taking Naruto, like, inspiration and kind of twisting it a little bit.
Yeah.
Even though it's not like one for one or anything, but it's just like, I don't know. My Hero has a lot of like shonen roots it kind of builds on.
And see that's the beauty of My Hero. Like, it takes all these tropes and does it in a very good way. Like,
I agree.
Horikoshi does a good way of taking these tropes and be like, oh, you think that's gonna happen? Nah, that ain't gonna happen. Oh, you like that trope? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Let's actually like build on that and expand on that. And it's funny you bring up Naruto, because I've always thought ever since day one that My Hero was just a better written Naruto.
I will say that
loves Naruto.
I will say that that's one of the things that I like about My Hero is that they have villains in this series that the villain isn't right. You know what I'm saying? Like in Naruto, you have villains in that series where it's just like, damn, it's like, Nagato, he got some actual points. Like, I might just side with him. Whereas in My Hero, you have Overhaul. It's like, no, I hate Overhaul. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing, like you were saying about Horikoshi, where it's just like, when you think something is going to happen, it doesn't happen. It's like he always flips it and twists it. Whereas, I mean, like, there are some things, like, with the Dobby thing, like, we already saw that coming, but there's, stuff that we still haven't seen yet, and I'm hoping that he just keeps on, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, he keeps on, tricking us, I guess.
And I would say, cause definitely, I don't know, like, I wonder if the League of Villains, how much of a point they have, cause it's just like, I don't know, it's the thin line of where they're kind of like, people with mental issues, as well as, like, Magnet was trans, and kind of, like, turning those into villains, and then, like... But I still don't know what Shigaraki wants, because Dobby seems to want to destroy the heroes. Mm-hmm. But what does Shigaraki want? I don't know.
Shigaraki wants to destroy everything.
Yes.
Like, he just wants to destroy everything. Because, and see, that's the point of the League of Villains. They're these people that have been cast aside by society. So, like, you mentioned Magnate. I mean, Magnate could have been cast aside because of, their own thing. And, we see this with Toga and Twice as well, where they were cast aside because of how they, thought. Like, especially with Toga, like, her vision of love is so twisted that she doesn't see what's the issue with how she shows love towards somebody. So, because of society, like, shunning them and pushing these people aside, they finally came together and formed this actually, like, familiar bond with each other. Mm-hmm. And all of that has to do with Stain, who, you could argue, oh, Stain was a bad villain, Stain was a good villain. Stain was a villain with a purpose. Mm-hmm. And I wouldn't even necessarily call him a villain either. Mm-hmm. He had a purpose, he had a reason, he had something that he wanted to show the world. And now his vision is finally coming out. because of the League of Villains.
It
So-
would be interesting if, like, the public demanded Stane's release or something. So instead of a prison break, it's more just like, you have to let him out.
Prison
because, like,
release.
because he was right. Because, like, Stain was right.
That's-
But,
It's,
I
mean,
yeah.
I was talking about like the villains of My Hero recently with a group of friends, and a lot of them came to like this same perspective that like they don't feel that the villains in My Hero are very like developed or they stand out well compared to other anime villains. And I told them like, yeah, I understand where you guys are coming from, and I get it. But for me, there's something about the show and the series, the way that it works, the way it's written, the way the world is put together. I'm like, yeah, this is a world where basically everyone glorifies these super cops running around beating the shit out of people. So if I lived in a world of super cops, I don't think I need a reason to hate them.
Yeah.
So I could just hate them for just them choosing their profession. And League of Villains are just like, yeah, we just don't want to, like live under these guys. That's enough, and that's enough of a reason for me to feel for these villains. Which I also feel that maybe that's why like Overhaul didn't work out. He came up with a very, sound and complicated and doable plan, but a plan might not work in a world where again there are just like 80% super cops out there just ready to take you down. So
Yeah. And that's why I think there might be kind of the end of the hero chart. Because it's just hero worship, basically. Literally.
Mhm.
But I guess it is a kind of popularity, but also a little bit it is like the results. But also it is kind of what like drove Endeavor to the point of kind of like abuse, basically. But it's not like the hero chart's fault. It's just kind of like All Might was kind of like out of reach. But if they hadn't been like, I don't know, there's no like clear yes, no answer. But I don't know, I just would find it interesting if maybe there was kind of a flip of titles when it's like heroes become villains, villains become heroes. I definitely really want Vigilante. And yeah, like I just really struggle with the super cop thing. And it's kind of even like coming into the series now, like with people being like, wait, like our heroes, like they do shit stuff too. I don't know how Horikoshi's going to handle it, and it's just like, I don't know.
the only villain that was like correct, Gentle Criminal, obviously. The guy just wants to make a YouTube video. Come on. Deku was a real. I'm sorry, but Deku was a real cop that arc. Hey kid, can I just record your cool concert? I'm gonna break your bones with my air bullets, old man. I was like, dude, calm down.
But then there wouldn't even been a concert, and then Eri would never have smiled.
That is true. That is so true.
Oh my god, I love the smile, man.
Yeah,
I can't. Don't
It's
get me
such
started again.
It's such a good moment. Just Deku could have just calmed down a little bit. I'm like, yo, he invented the ability to shatter trees with a flick. I'm like, yo, calm down. Like, this is what's wrong with heroes. They're violent, just like Hawks. Like,
Yeah, that's the thing where it's like trying to maybe focusing more on rescue, or like, I don't know, I feel like there's going to be a change in what hero means. Because right now, hero means super cop.
mm-hmm. Well, in a sense, right? Like, just overtly glorified and like worshipped to a very unhealthy extent.
Yeah. And also there's like no repercussions, or like, because we don't really know, I guess, like, what happens if a hero does go too far?
That's
Well,
the
I
thing.
guess we'll find out.
We really haven't seen that yet.
Yeah.
We've only really seen it when like Deku and Ko stopped Stain, and Dog Cop was like, I'm not gonna tell anybody because you shouldn't have done it, or you did it.
So that's the whole thing. Yeah, if you're a licensed superhero, you can get away with whatever you want. But if you try to do things out of the goodness of your heart and you don't have a license, that's wrong. That's the whole premise of Vigilantes. That's what happened with Deku, Ida, and Todoroki getting yelled at. That's what happened with Gentle Criminal when he tried to like intervene as a teenager to help someone. Like, helping someone out of the goodness of your heart is wrong unless you do it through the system. And that's what's like really interesting about like this world and why the villains hate us so much. Like, we should be able to do whatever we want, not go through this and not listen to you guys.
And I think we've seen a little bit of the lady who talked to Hawks, who looks like Hillary Clinton, and we don't know her name. I wonder if she might step down or something, or like, will Dog Pop step down? Like, is something, at the end of this arc, are the heroes going to do something? Like, I wonder if, like, it would be interesting if Deku decided to leave UA. Like, what if I wonder if Deku's mind would change. But he already knew about Endeavor.
I don't think he would, only because he's the main character. It's My Hero Academia. It's the setting. Yeah. It's the show title, and he's gonna be like, even though heroes did bad things, I want to be a hero that does good things. Yada yada yada. Yeah. We get it, Deku. You have 7 quirks. Save the world. Whatever.
I'm like the 7 quirk thing still bothers me. I'm just like, there's too many.
It makes me so mad, but every time Horikoshi draws him using a different quirk, I'm like, it looks really cool. The art looks really good. Don't sell me on this, man.
Because, like, the quirk was really cool. Because I love it when Deku is, like, smart about using the quirk smart in, like, a really cool... Right. And I'm not interested in as much in, like, the power and, like, oh, you have 7 quirks, blah, blah, blah. I'm interested in, like, the how does he use them and, like, the strategy. But I think someone was trying to get in there, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say, I don't mind the whole 7 quirk thing, because with the quirks that he's getting, at least, that we've seen, they're not, like, overpowered quirks. They're like, here's Float, where you can just kind of fly. And here's Black Whip, which, you know, in the basis of it, wasn't that strong of a quirk. You know, that's basically Spider-Man's webs. But with One For All, that's when they become overpowered. So that's when we see, like, you know, Deku wrapping it around and using it as a cast for his own arm, like, things like that. So I think that's, I mean, not to, like, lead into the other subject, but I think that's what we're leading to with the other quirks that Deku might have. Like, it might be these, like, not super powered quirks, but because of One For All, they become super powered.
Ooh. It also kind of makes me think of the quirk singularity, and sorry, Jay.
Mm-hmm. Oh, no worries. So I was gonna say, or to piggyback off of that, so what you're suggesting is, if Koda had One For All, he'd be useful.
Exactly. I feel like maybe he could control more animals. I'm taking this seriously. He could control more animals, or possibly...
I'm not even gonna respond.
I'm so sorry.
I'm not even gonna respond. Like, it's
sorry.
I love
it. I said, nope.
Sorry, I just basically met you, and you just gave me such an avenue to work with.
No, I'm not even gonna, give into it.
But I do wonder, like, the quirk singularity is basically Deku and Shigaraki right now. Like, if you merge them, because he wants to take Deku's quirk, if he took Deku's quirk, like, even though he tried already, he couldn't, because the other users are like, no. Would the other users go as well? And then, like, the world blows up? Like, too many quirks in one spot? Because 9 had a limit.
Yeah, 9 could only have nine quirks, and that was the reason why he couldn't take one for all from Deku, because he already had too many to begin with.
And yeah, it's a mix of that and / maybe can't be forcibly taken. Like the other users said no.
Yeah, they were like. Also, I will say this: that moment with the other users being like, "Yeah, no, we're staying with Deku. We like him." That gave me enough material to use to make Heroes Rising canon. So thank you, Horikoshi, for doing that, so I can be like, yep, yeah, Heroes Rising's canon. Oh, Bakugo didn't keep One For All. Oh, that's because the users wanted to stay with Deku. They like the little boy.
I just wondered, like, quirks suddenly appeared. Could quirks disappear? Kind of like the end of quirks. But, like, I feel like people couldn't bring that on unless, like, All For One literally went, like, I'm taking everyone's quirk into me! And then, like, blew up.
Right. See, that's why I think that's gonna lead into, cause we know Horikoshi, he likes his, Marvel and DC comic references throughout. I think that's gonna lead to the eventual, universal stuff in My Hero Academia.
What do you mean, sir?
So, like, finding out where quirks actually came from.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, getting that, like, almost Thanos character coming to Earth. Like, something like that. I haven't really thought too much into it, so right now it's kind of a, oh, that'd be neat, but just knowing that he likes his Marvel, DC, homages and all that, it wouldn't surprise me if some outside universal force comes to Earth and just like, yeah, no. Oh, that, one for all quirk you have? Oh, that's cute. That's basically my pinky. Your 1,000,000% that you use on muscular.
Like the Silver Surfer shows up and it's like, something worse is coming.
Yeah. Now, granted, that's like an outlandish kind of thing, but
Yeah.
it wouldn't surprise me, to be honest.
I would like to go into like the origin of quirks. I don't know if Horikoshi interested in it though.
I mean,
But
Yeah.
in the villain arc with like Redestro recounting the story of the mother of all quirks.
yeah.
Honestly,
Yep.
that's kind of like all the history I personally need. I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah, like it's like whatchamacallit, etymology history. Like it's just like learning about why do we call it quirks, and I think that's enough for me. I'm like, cool.
Right.
Cool.
Mhm.
That's I'm more interested in if the result of the quirk singularity, and I do think it is going to be the disappearance of quirks, like a world without quirks.
Mhm.
How that happens, I don't know. Does Deku just black whip everyone in the world? Just drain from them? Oh, whatever.
Ooh.
I'm sure one of those quirks will do something for him.
Huh. It would be interesting if Deku took or somehow got like combining One for All and All for One again, but not in All for One, but in One for All. If that makes sense. Like not in Shigaraki, but in Deku.
Yeah, I see.
Yeah, it becomes a none for all, and then
Yeah.
no one quirks.
Cause like I do kind of want Deku to be quirkless at the end.
So you mean
will
like purpose, like he passes it on to somebody else, or
Either one, either pass it on to someone else, or it just goes away, and then he has to like, or I don't know, like being a hero, not in the sense of like fighting the hero, but like being like, I don't know, All Might's not like, is a hero still. But I guess, I don't know, being more of an emotional hero, or something.
like that. That's a really interesting theory. Like if there's no not one for all, if there's no all for one, does one for all stop existing? So I mean, like that's an interesting theory right there.
It's possible. I mean, hey, the end of Heroes Rising was supposed to be Horikoshi's original, one of his proposed draft.
Yeah.
That's true.
Passing, I imagine it was passing on to the Bakugo, but not like they kind of both share One for All. Was my perception of it was, which makes me wonder, like, as a final set piece for a show or a series, that was pretty great. I'm very curious how Horikoshi will top that.
Oh, all of Class 1A passes it along to each other.
Oh my god,
And
Kodo's
then-
signing.
And that Deku. Like,
Yeah.
I think I said this before, I kind of want it to happen. So he has all their quirks, and then he goes, Pasha!
Well, I mean, now that you say that, it makes me think about Naruto in Shippuden. Remember when he passed off all of his, who was it? Kurama's,
he gave everybody Kurama's chakra.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. Yeah, he gave everybody Kurama's chakra. And then it was like when they were fighting, I can't remember his name, Madara. Remember, it's like only everybody that was Naruto's friend, it's like they got like a special chakra from Naruto. So, I mean, like, we could see something like that happen in My Hero. I hope that it doesn't happen, but,
Now Deku's like, guys, I have a plan, and he just rips out a huge chunk of his hair. Like, everyone take a peek. He's now way bigger.
I would like
and then he's
that.
just bald, and everybody's just like, wow, you look like that Cave Baldy over there. And then we see, that's where we get the
Oh my
One
God.
Punch Man, My Hero Academia crossover. There's your crossover discussion.
Yay! Oh, I would kind of like that, because I think we've talked about it before that it might be devil fruit rules, that whoever eats it first gets it.
Mm-hmm.
But it would be cool if you could, like, divide the power. Because it is, like, 8 people worth of power. maybe a bit more.
Deku just coming in like, hey guys, I asked Sata to help me, how to bake a cake. I baked a cake for all of you guys because I love you guys. Just eat it. No questions asked. Just don't worry about what's inside there. It's 100% not there.
Deku, why do you have a bald spot right there? Don't worry about it. Just eat this cake. I made it with my love.
Yeah, I was stressed out. I just wanted to make the perfect cake for you guys because I truly cherish you guys, my class, my friends.
Oh, what I was gonna say is, so I actually had a theory similar to this, and it kind of goes in with the other quirks that Deku's gonna get. And it could probably help with like theorizing what they might be. I think each quirk is gonna have like some sort of aspect or mixed aspect of people in 1A, because we've already started seeing this with Black Whip and Float, with Deku training with Sero, Froppy, and Uraraka to kind of start learning about Float and how to maintain his time in the air, and then obviously with Black Whip with Sero, and a little bit with Froppy too because of her tongue action. I said tongue action for a reason.
that suggests to me like that if one of the quirks would have to be like basically spider sense, because Horikoshi loves Spider-Man, right? And that way he can work with Jiro and Shoji because they're the sensory types.
Mm-hmm. It's observation hockey.
Yeah, basically.
Well, I was also thinking of Sir, basically or that's more like fourth, because like spider sense is a bit like predicting what's going to happen, or like knowing something bad's going to happen. But
yeah. It's not like Spider-Man sees the future. He just knows that like, hey, something's up. I gotta move. Like,
yeah. He's just like, oh crap.
Yeah. Oh no. Is it let us peruse my list. For plot threads, did we want to think about the possibilities of Eri? I know, Mr. Worldwide was talking about Eri maybe losing her quirk or getting it stolen. I was wondering if Jay or Banks had any thoughts.
I can go first if you don't mind, Jay.
Yeah, go for it, man.
Okay. I don't see her losing her quirk. I feel like that, she's in a place right now where she has Mirio and Ozawa who are, taking care of her, showing her love, giving her unconditional love, which is something that she never had before. And like, I don't think that she's gonna lose the quirk. What my biggest thing is that I feel like she's gonna help Mirio become Lemillion again. I think that is gonna happen. But I don't see her losing her quirk. The only, I don't want to say this, but I could possibly see Overhaul killing her. Just to, come back and, finally, making more quirk erasing bullets. I could possibly see something like that happening. But yeah, that's just my theory.
Mm-hmm. Jay?
So losing quirk, I don't know. Getting better at handling it, definitely for sure to help Mirio. Because, Lemillion's gotta come back. We all love the boy. So.
Yes.
This is something I thought about a while ago. And again, if the prison break arc happens, which that'd be awesome if it does. If it does happen, a thought that I had was, I feel like Eri needs to confront Overhaul again. So that she needs to really get over her trauma. And so what happens, and she restores Mirio, so Mirio and Deku are there as her escort, to make sure nothing goes wrong, blah blah blah. But they actually need Overhaul's help because of this quirk. Whether it's to stop Shigaraki or stop some villain plan, whatever, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. And Eri restores Overhaul's hands for him to temporarily be of assistance, kind of like a temporary hero villain alliance. That's the only, unless Overhaul's. I do not like Overhaul. I feel like I've said this before, but for a guy who is, if he truly is supposed to be more than just well-dressed father, then he's just cannon fodder for Shigaraki and everyone else to gain development. But if he's supposed to serve a bigger function, I think it would be interesting for Eri to overcome her own traumas by confronting Overhaul, restoring his hands, getting his help, and maybe Overhaul last second's I'm gonna just so you don't erase my hands away again, I'm gonna destroy you this time, Eri, and then Lemillion properly gets a takeout.
Oh my god.
Like just like not a full fight, but just like a quick punch or something like that, you know? And yeah, I don't know. And then overall can go back to jail and never be seen again. Whatever, who cares?
Part 2.
I really like your theory. Like, I'm sorry, I just wanted to piggyback off of that. Like, that's something that, anybody that ever went through some type of abuse or, just being mentally messed up, it's like fighting the thing that, was abusing you, getting that revenge on them. So, I mean, like, I would love to see Eri fight Overhaul.
Yeah. No, I'm glad you feel that way. Cause like, I think Horikoshi handles like characters who have been abused really well. Like the whole Todoroki, and Endeavor, like Shoto and Endeavor just like, I don't know, talking and during their whole, bringing Deku and Bakugo over for dinner. That whole situation, like, is so interesting and something I honestly did not expect and I really like. I mean, really, as a writer, it really makes me wonder a lot about, like, what Horikoshi's life experiences were, because I don't think he's ever mentioned his dad in an interview, not to, like, pry in his personal life, but I'm so curious. Like, I'm like, this has to come from something. If not his own experience, or someone else that he knows personally. So, I'm like, there's no way that he would just allow Eri's problems to be solved by someone else.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's I think Horikoshi's mentioned that, like, for some of the main people, he's got inspiration from his own life as well as, like, some of his friends. So, like, we can't really, like, guess on that stuff. For me, I'm really bad, but I don't really care if Mirio gets his quirk back. Like, he's cool.
Same.
But I think he kind of had his moment of, like, the shining, and, like, the best thing he will ever do is him taking that shot for Eri. Like, that was a hero. Like, in that moment, he achieved.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for having me on the podcast, guys. I'll never be coming back.
Yeah, like that. I mean, like that is such an emotional moment, Like, the whole fight, and then when you thought that he was gonna die, and then Deku comes busting through the wall, like, that's like one of my, I have so many favorite moments from season 4. I don't understand how people can say season 4 was trash. But, like, that was, oh, God.
And I guess, like, but I just like the idea, like, I don't know, once your quirk goes away, you're not dead. Like, he's still there, he can still be there for Eri. So, and I would say, I don't know, I really, really like the idea of Eri kind of confronting Overhaul. I kind of, like, overrides whatever I was thinking. I don't know, I definitely, like, I don't know, especially because Eri's so young. I don't know, I hope she gets more control, and I would say, like, she could maybe return Shigaraki to normal. Or something, like undo all the modifications. Or I guess that's more what Overhaul could do.
Yeah,
maybe
one of them could do that, really.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I'm just like Eri seeing Eraserhead, and Eraserhead like is missing part of his leg.
Maybe, yeah.
Unless she can like regrow it for him, but also just like trauma, like ×2. Like I don't know. She erased her dad.
Right.
And her new father figure almost died. Like, she's going through.
So, I want to talk a little bit about my side of it. So we've heard the sides of no. Let's hear the side of yes.
Yeah.
So, here's how I'm thinking of it. So, Shigaraki steals Eri's quirk. Reason for that is to create more quirk erasing bullets. We see that Shigaraki already has regen, so he doesn't have to worry about, hurting himself too much. Yeah, the pain would suck, but then he would be able to not only build, he would be able to build the ammunition for his army, for the next war that will happen whenever in the future. But not only that, but most of Eri's, trauma comes from her quirk. So her quirk getting stolen will actually help benefit her getting over her trauma. Because now she won't have that thing on her. Because right now, the way I'm interpreting her with her quirk is she is so scared of it because it's this thing that hurts people, that harms people. So with it gone, she can actually learn more how to be a normal girl. And she can still be with Aizawa. She can still be with Lemillion, which going to Lemillion, he's not getting his quirk back. He's gonna end up being the cop friend to Deku. So, you know how All Might has his detective cop buddy? That's gonna end up being Mirio.
Mirio is no longer Mirio. He's Deku's best friend.
He is now gonna be Inspector Million. So that's where I'm thinking with it. And yeah, Eri can still have her confrontation with Overhaul. But, that'll be like after she's like gone past this trauma from her quirk. Like, now that she won't have her quirk, she'll be better off, like, mentally and emotionally because she doesn't have these worries anymore. She can actually confront him as a person instead of, in a fist fight, because that's one thing that I don't think people really, like, praise Horikoshi enough on, is how he shows how people can be heroes without hurting a villain. Because that's one thing that this series, that people are in this series are going to learn. Like, most of his best writing, besides right now, obviously, most of his best writing, though, has been through, like, these rescue operations, these things where it's not necessarily we have to beat up this villain. It's we have to save this person or do this thing in order to save everyone. So I think with Eri getting her quirk taken away, that's an effective way to do that. Plus, it also gives the villain a heroic thing. Even though he's doing it for villainous things, he's being a hero. So there's that whole subversion of expectations kind of thing going on.
That's
my mindset.
No, that's totally fair, and I do agree with the idea of, like, I love when they don't need to solve things with their fists. It's why the school festival arc is my favorite, because they just solve everything through a concert.
Thank you.
It's the best one. It's the best one. My only issue with Eri getting her quirk taken away is that I feel like for someone who's been through abuse to have that magically removed, it's a little too convenient, and I don't, like, sure, there'll be new things to, like, oh, the pressure's gone, the weight is gone, but I feel like to overcome one's own trauma, like, you have to face it head on. And this might be speaking to, like, I'm not trying to Dr. Phil everyone here or anything, but, like, but just from, like, a grander sense, though, I feel like, sure, we totally love for all of our own personal issues to just disappear, but, once we learn to accept and overcome it, then I feel like that is like I don't know, a bigger breath of fresh air, if that makes any sense. But I get where you're coming from. I totally get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
I feel like, I don't know, Horikoshi maybe will do neither, or like kind of, I don't know. I don't know. I really like the idea of maybe Eri, because I guess I just can't get over Eri's so young, so I feel like if she suddenly, like, has complete mastery over her quirk, it'll be, like, not believable.
Yeah.
But I would just like it if, like, her just having a bit of control and, like, being, like, less afraid of it. So, like, her losing it, or maybe her, like, just being able to, like, control when it goes on or off, basically, would be nice. Instead of it being tied to her emotion. But I guess, I don't know. I just want her to be... I remember what I was going to say about Eri. I would love it so much. I would wanted the League of Villains to adopt her and, like, have to deal with the fact that now you have this child and, like, what are you going to do about it? Cause, like, originally, like, that's what they were kind of thinking of doing.
Yeah.
But then, like, they didn't end up happening. But obviously, like, I think Mirio and Deku and, like, Eraserhead are, like, way better for Eri. But,
look,
like,
Compress would have been fine to teach her. He's pretty much the dad of the group.
Compress is like, here's the first test. Give me back my arm, please.
Please, just give me back my arm.
Don't you feel guilty that your first adoptive dad did this to me? Please fix me.
I love or no, you know what I want for the series? I just wanted a Compress backstory. What?
Yes.
Do we know Compress's name?
Honestly, I'm okay with never learning anything about him because I think that's part of his magic act. You know? Like,
his name is X Hero Sako. I think Gran Torino or somebody said his name.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I completely forgot about that.
All I know is he's cute underneath the mask. He's important.
Is he old? Apparently, like, I remember he making a joke about, like, him being old. Like,
Yeah, somebody has made a joke.
40s or something.
It was probably
That's Toga. right?
Toga. Toga's like 16. Everyone's old to her. Or she's
Yeah.
How old is Toga?
Wait.
Toga's 16 or 14.
I think she's 17, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think she's 17.
I'm gonna Google Toga. She might be more of a mystery one. Oh, her birthday's August 7th. I was like, Toga is not 7. I'm calling the cops.
Or 7, yeah, she's 17. I forgot she was older than Deku. I guess that makes sense. Deku's not 17, right?
That's what, 15, 16?
Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
something like that.
Deku's 20 years old. I would just be like,
What?
I don't know. I'm interested in or I guess cause I don't know. I think if Area joined the league, it would have made them have to plan more, basically.
Eri joining the league reminds me of those theories for One Piece right now, where people think Momonosuke is going to join the Straw Hats. I'm like,
Oh, that's a thing?
Yes. If
Yeah,
just basically any new cool person shows up, Straw Hat.
I mean, Yamato the character, but that's just me.
Hey, my man.
Yeah, no, I have a friend that legitimately, and I actually saw a couple of theory videos too about this, where they give a reason for Momo to join the Straw Hats after Wano. I'm like, I hear you, but no.
I think people want him to be the deckhand, or I think it's deckhand, where it's
Cabin boy.
cabin boy, yes.
Yeah.
They're gonna make the leader of his own country whatever. Back to My Hero.
Yes, anyway, my hero. I guess I don't feel like Aries going to be in this arc though. That's what I hope.
No.
I don't
Flashback.
think we're anywhere near this fight. Afterwards, when it's over, Eri can be like, "That was scary. What the fuck?" And everyone, okay. I don't know, just
Grandpa, Grandpappy, oh my, can you give me a hug?
It would I feel like Shigaraki and Eri being in the same panel would be cool because they both have white hair, they both have traumatic backstories. So that meeting could be cool.
Yeah.
But how it would happen, how it would be handled, I don't know. I want them to be friends. I want Shigaraki and Eri to be friends. And it would be traumatizing for both of them. Mainly Eri. Is there any other Eri thoughts where we'd want to talk about the fiery man himself, Endeavor?
Ooh, Endeavor.
Endeavor's toast, career-wise.
Yeah,
Yeah.
unintended.
I really hope he just steps down. I don't know, he just steps down.
He needs to. I mean, at least he can finally say that he accomplished the goal that he always wanted, was to, be the number one hero. But yeah, he needs to step down because at the end of the day, Endeavor is a piece of shit. And I am happy that, that people are starting to see him for what he really is. And that's one thing that I always say about people in real life. It's you can't believe, how a person truly is just from what you see on the outside. You know what I'm saying? Because it's some of the nicest people that you may know, they're pieces of shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least I can say that I'm the same person on the inside and out. But there are a lot of people out there that, they have these false images where it's they act like that they're a nice person, that they're a positive person, but they're really not. And it's they're giving people false hope. And that's one thing that I definitely do not like, is people who give other people false hope, because there are people that look up to you. Like Endeavor, for example. He has his fans that look up to him and they want to be heroes just like Endeavor, but it's his, the Natsu fan, the pink haired fan, he's still in disbelief about all of this stuff that's coming out about Endeavor. Cause he's Endeavor's number one fan. He's Endeavor's Deku, Midoriya. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I definitely think that he needs to step down. He needs to go away. I do feel like that it's going to be harder for Shoto because, he is Endeavor's son. And I feel like he's not going to get the same type of, not passes, but, what is the word? Favors and stuff, because he's Endeavor's son, he's not going to get that stuff anymore, is what I'm saying.
It's Shoto got into UA through recommendation, basically. Right?
Yeah, pretty much. Yes.
Yeah, it was him and Momo.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Same thing like in Two Heroes when he was on the island, he was only there because he's Endeavor's son.
Mhm.
So he's not gonna get like the same type of things. Well, I mean, I can't say that, but this is what I think might happen, as the story progresses.
Mhm.
And then you got the
Oh.
brother and his sister too. Like his,
Yeah.
you know, his sister, is she still gonna be a teacher? Being the daughter of Endeavor?
I hope so, but it would be interesting if, like, the society completely, like, turns against them. It's kind of like sins of the father. And,
Well,
okay. I hope not,
I don't
yeah.
think it's really gonna like affect the kids too much.
Mhm.
Because most of the stuff has been endeavored towards the kids, so there might be more like sympathy towards them.
Oh, yeah, I hope so.
But like for fostering any other relationships and all that. I mean, it might be hard for Todoroki, for Shoto because he's so young. I mean, for Yumi, she might be fine. I mean, she might take some time off of school because I mean, I'm sorry if you're getting that news while you're teaching. I might want to take some time off just to kind of escape. And then Natsu is just he's whatever. Endeavor's definitely gonna have to step down. He's gonna have to as much as Kamino was the quote unquote death of All Might at that point. This is the death of Endeavor. So whether he actually physically dies or steps down, he's done. He's gonna he's not even probably gonna be in Japan after this either.
Ooh.
He might have to just escape to the mountains somewhere and we won't see him again until like a final arc cameo where he bursts in with a prominence burn and he's like, I am here, even though he's not All Might, but he's like, I'm here to help even though I'm a piece of shit.
Instead of Watashi wa Kita, which I think is what it is, he's like, Ore wa Kita.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's right. Jay.
Yeah, I mean, just reiterating what I said before, his career is toast.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's just, he has to, I agree, he has to step down, he has to, go solve that ambulance crime, whatever's going on there. I really think he's just actually gonna hold himself up. Like, I could totally imagine himself holding himself up and just, like, reflecting a lot about, like, Toya and whatnot. And I think the other children are all gonna go about their lives, but that it's still gonna ring. They're gonna hear all the gossip and the rumors every time they go out in the streets. Like, oh my god, like, wow, that's crazy that it never really did that to them, blah, blah, blah. And it's just something they're gonna have to live with, they're the children of someone who is idolized and famous. And since their father's sins are out in the open, they will hear that gossip for the rest of their lives probably. And that's pretty much it.
I do want Endeavor to step down, but it would be very funny if he just pulled a Trump and refused to.
Oh God!
But I feel like that would have been the old Endeavor. But Endeavor has already made spady steps in change. Like, he wants to change. So I feel like, but they're in the middle of combat. He can't be like, bye guys, see ya.
Yeah, no, he can't just be like, all right, well, I'm just gonna leave. I'm just, does the Homer Simpson back into the bush kind of thing. Bye.
That might be the episode image. Let's see. I'm just gonna Endeavor push Homer and hope I remember what that means. I guess also just interesting touching on Dabi a little bit. Ryu saying he knew that Endeavor was abusing Shoto. I just wonder when Toya died, was he watching the family afterwards? And also just that he sent Ending and the glass guy after Endeavor, but he specifically said he didn't want Endeavor to die. Is it because he wants to kill him himself, or is it because he doesn't want to give him that redemption in death? I just wonder I guess Dabi is trying to kill them now, I guess.
I could see the redemption in death kind of narrative. But also, it could also be the thing of, I'm gonna keep watching as he builds himself up, keep building that thing up all the way to the top. And then once it reaches that peak, that almost perfect moment, to have it then crumble down. So in a way, I'm gonna keep him alive until this very moment, when I destroy his reputation, when I destroy him as a character, and him as a man as well.
Mhm.
So I could see it being like that kind of twist. But again, I think I said this last week too. Like we don't have the full story yet.
Mhm.
We see some of the stuff from Endeavor's side, from this Toya reveal and the flashback. So we don't have the whole story yet. So, some of those questions I'm looking forward to seeing, like, how did he, see all this abuse that was happening? How was he able to, keep all these tabs besides, what he hears in the news and on TV and all that. So,
Mhm.
yeah,
And how
I'm
he
excited.
knew Hawk's real name. Like, he knew about
Mhm.
kind of like basically a child hero. I guess like
Yeah.
revealing that as well, that like Hawks was kind of like taken as a child and like, you're gonna be a hero now.
Mhm.
But cause he wanted to be like Endeavor, cause Endeavor, like, we learned stopped his criminal dad.
Yeah.
I
It might
don't know. Yeah.
It might have come when they took in his dad, because
Yeah.
they, had this orphan, and it might have been this organization that was like, well, you have a decent quirk, and you don't have any parents anymore. Perfect. You're gonna be thrown into this, secret society where you're gonna learn to be a hero, and, we're gonna get rid of your name, something like that, probably. Which we'll probably get more of that too.
Because I guess basically I want like a flashback from Toya's perspective.
Yeah.
And I guess I also really want the first user of One for All flashback again. Like how he escaped, because he was like captured by his brother. Or unless his brother was like, here's the quirk, bye! And just like, dipped. I don't know. And now away from Endeavor a bit, this is more possible future, but do any of us think there's going to be a second year at UA? Or like, do we all kind of think that it's going to be like UA is going to close or like be attacked or whatever?
I don't want a second year. If there's going to be another year at UA, I'd rather they just jump straight to the last year, the third year. I know a lot of people will like, they want more content. They want the Harry Potter-esque of it. They want to see every single year. They want to see these kids grow up. And that's nice in its own sense, but I'm like, what? Are we going to watch them do the sports festival again? Are we going to watch them do the school festival? Actually, hold on. I could do school festival again.
Yeah.
What?
I was gonna say, you mean that school festival?
Yeah. Hold on. Let's throw a bigger concert. Hold on. But let's get a better play from Class 1B. So
Yeah.
But I feel like the way the story moves and these characters, I feel like if we're going to do another school year, we have to jump straight into like this is the perfect time for a time skip. We got to jump straight into the next the third year, or the school closes down and we do a time skip that way where they've been hiding underground for a while.
It does make me think of Haikyuu a bit. Where like I really wanted to see the second year. But, like, if it skips even second and third year and just goes to Deku as a pro. Or, I also wrote this down, Deku as a sidekick. Because that is, like, what is supposed to be more the natural progression of being a hero. Except I don't think Hawks was ever a sidekick. I think he jumped in really early. But I guess even, like, if Deku does want to be the number one hero and, like, the state of the world now, he doesn't have time to be a sidekick. But I think it'd be kind of cute if it, like, you think he's pro already, but it's like, oh no, I'm just a sidekick. Might be kind of cool. But I don't know. I do want to see second year because I just want to know, there's so much more about the students that I want to know about. Like we kind of got hints of a flashback for, oh my god, what's Mask Guy's name? Multi-hands. Shinso, or no?
Shinso, yes.
No, it's not Shinso. That's the guy who control people.
Shoji, right? You're talking about
yes.
Arm? Yeah.
Yes, I'm sorry, Shoji. That, like, Shoji's backstory, Hagagure, because we know her quirk, she controls light. She's invisible. What's your deal? I just want to know more about the students, and, like, I don't know, because I feel like if we did jump ahead, we might lose focus on them, but also, like, we probably might see them as pros, or, like, I wonder if some of them wouldn't be heroes, because, like, maybe they just decide to change jobs. Like, but I'm not even like besides just like dropping out. I'm thinking of Haikyuu again, where like some people just stopped playing volleyball. But the problem is like in Haikyuu they weren't at like a volleyball school. They're just like in high school. But this is specifically a hero school.
I mean, not to give too much away about Haikyuu, but like the purpose or the main idea of that series was that like, yeah, volleyball is big and important, but it's also what you learn from it and some characters chose not to do it anymore because they learned so much from it to apply to different parts of their lives. My Hero is built upon everyone wants to be a hero.
Yes.
So I can't imagine. As interesting as it would be, I can't imagine different professions for everyone.
Yeah.
And yes, I agree. I want to see like, you know, more character moments with all of Class 1A. But I'm starting to wonder like Horikoshi might have trouble like juggling all these characters. I think some characters are just, I don't know, they're just gonna be one note characters, and we as fans just need to fill in our own headcanons about them. And sometimes that's okay. You know, it'd be nice to see one of Momo's plans succeed for once.
Oh my god, you're right. They always, like, she's so smart. But it's always the bittersweet where like, oh, actually no.
No plan has worked.
Until Gigantamachi is gonna fall asleep at a key moment. I believe.
Could be next chapter. Dun dun dun.
And I would say, I feel like, since maybe, like, Hero Society is in danger, that I feel like someone might drop out and then they decide to come back or something. I don't know. Or, like, Sato's just like, actually, I'm just gonna run a bakery. Like, bye, guy.
I mean, I could see that. I could see some of the heroes just, you know, going off and using their quirks for, you know, other stuff. It's kind of like what All Might had told Deku early on, where it's like, you know, just because you don't have a quirk doesn't mean that you still can't be a hero. You can be a police officer or a fireman. So
Society would have to change, because right now, as the rules are, Sato could, or I guess Sato's quirk is that he gets stronger if he eats sugar. It's not like if he eats sugar, he becomes a better baker. So it's not like he's using his quirk, like, because you can't use your quirk.
I get what you mean.
But I guess, like, I don't think anyone at UA really is super dependent on their, I guess, like, that's the thing, is maybe they're learning how to improve their quirk and, like, improve themselves, so, like, but also, My Hero isn't going to be Haikyuu 2.0. I don't want it to be that. It should be the whole thing. And sorry, Banks,
nothing can be.
Yes. Oh my god. Banks, you need to read Haikyuu.
Yeah, well, I do have it on my list on Netflix, so I am going to check it out eventually. I'm almost done with Hunter x Hunter, so once I finish that, I'll definitely check it out, because I really don't have anything else that I'm watching right now that I can just binge. So it'll definitely be something interesting to watch while I'm working out at the gym.
Dude, Haikyuu will change your life, man.
Yeah, Haikyuu's pretty good. Like, I'm anime only for Haikyuu. So I've been watching season 4. It's there. No, it's fine. Don't worry about it. No, it's fine. I kind of figured some of them would like drop it, but whatever. The team, it's their second match in the national game. Season 4 is
Inura Izaki, right?
Yes, yeah, it's them. So it's that match that they're having with them. So that's where I'm at, and yeah, it's pretty good. I think honestly, not talking about you right now, but I think to me the best match was their second actual match against Alba Josai.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like, I mean, yeah, you have your Shira Torizawa match and all that. Like, it was great, had some great moments, but gosh, that
it's the run back. Yeah. The run back is super exciting.
Yep. Well, this isn't a Haikyuu podcast. No, we're talking about My Hero.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of a flip of the coin, or whatever Horikoshi feels like doing. Who knows? I don't know, but I do wonder, like, I think Horikoshi does really like doing the normal school thing right after the really extreme thing. So they could just, like, have another, like, culture festival or something, like, or go on a field trip, whatever, like, a stereotypical school thing would be.
A field trip to the jail.
Ooh!
And there's our prison break card.
Or also
I would question UA as a school when they did that. I'm like, what? Let's bring Eri along too. What?
I don't think if Eri could fix Kurogiri or something.
Eri, use your quirk. We've mastered this. oh no, Eri, you've undone all the jail cells somehow. You reversed all of that, and they're just empty spaces. All the villains are loose.
Yes. Well, also, okay, at the jail, they're like stopping people from using their quirks, but maybe it's just like drugging them so they're just like out of it. Because like One for All, they had all these cameras around him. I guess this kind of goes into like it's. Or I actually no, I don't know. I have like theory that if Eri is able to remove quirks, there needs to be someone who energizes quirks because there's like a thing for that. But that doesn't really have anything to do with the prison.
Vigilantes, right?
I was just gonna say that might tie into the Vigilantes thing with the quirk enhancing drugs and all that.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, maybe that will come into maybe it's like was always All for One who was it's from All for One. So like if Deku got hit by a quirk enhancing bullet, it would be it would create the quirk singularity because now he got a little bit of it or something.
Right.
Sorry, I just go off into gibberish sometimes.
No, you're good. You're good.
Actually, is there anything else we wanted to cover that you guys thought we missed? Oh, and we also got some messages as well.
Yeah, I think we pretty much covered everything. I mean, like, I'm good with going to the messages if you guys are.
I would say, were there any fights that you guys really wanted to see between people?
Yeah, Gentle Criminal coming back as Gentle Hero and taking down everybody and saving the day. Because he deserves it.
He just punches Deku and he's like, that's for interrupting my video!
No, he's a gentleman. He'll just bounce Deku into the air and be like, go play with your 7 quirks in the air somewhere. I will handle this.
I do. I want Gentle. Gentle's bouncy thing would just be really funny. So I just want someone to bounce. Like, I just want it really badly.
It took me a long while to realize that. I was like, wait, because like quirks are supposed to be part of, like, as Redestro said, like a little bit of your personality. And I was like, Gentle Criminal! About elasticity, because he always bounces back up no matter how much life beats the absolute shit out of him.
Oh, Gentle.
Gentle's good. Oh, I don't know. I want Gentle Librava to come back. If the series ends without them coming back, I'll be there. And also, like, I feel like if this was actually the end of the series, we would have gotten an announcement. They would have been like, by the way,
at this point, yeah, I feel like Shonen Jump realizes My Hero might be one of definitely their biggest international success.
Oh, totally.
So they, I feel like they would make an announcement, unlike other series that just suddenly ended out of nowhere.
Sorry, I actually don't know what you're referencing.
Like Demon Slayer and Promised Neverland, they just like ended, like
true.
They just did.
Demon Slayer.
Go ahead,
Wayne.
Wayne.
Anyway, yeah. Demon Slayer was kind of in its end anyways.
For sure. I just expected second to last chapter or something like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, I'm cool with, series not going on for years because I mean, like when you look at something like One Piece, which has been going on since the 90s, like I'm fine with a series just having like a couple 100 episodes and that being it. Like it doesn't have to have 900, it doesn't have to have 700. Like,
totally.
if you can just tell your story with getting to the point of what the story is and like what's the end goal, I'm all for it, man. It's like we're older now. We're not kids anymore. And it's, I kind of feel bad. Well, not kind of feel bad. I do feel bad because somebody had posted a post in my Dragon Ball Z group on Facebook where it was like there are some people who died before ever even seeing how One Piece is going to end. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, yeah, man, like I feel bad for those people because it's like, imagine being a fan and, you just pass away unexpectedly from, an illness or something. And it's like, you're never going to know. Well, I mean, they could look into the future or something. They might know something we don't know, but you know what I'm saying? It's just, they die without knowing like how their favorite anime ended. So,
Thanks. Don't make me go on a One Piece tangent now.
You go on the Haikyuu one. We need to keep it together. But you want to do it later, and we do have a Patreon, but I just don't plug it on here because there's shit going on in the world. I don't need your money. Spend your. I said I try to get you guys to donate to charity. But I might cut that out. Or maybe not. And then we're gonna go into some of the messages we got. Not actually emails, just replies on Twitter. We were asking, what do you think about the future of the series? This is from @DivisionOfJoyce. And I said, I honestly have no idea. The latest chapters have been well expected, too shocking, and I'm impressed by how Horikoshi wrote them without anyone seeing it coming in that way. I used to think a time skip was overdue, but now I don't know anymore. I still think it would be a good idea. However, we should also see the aftermath, just the immediate of everything that's happened. I'm thinking maybe the trio, Deku, Bakugo, and Shoto, will either go into hiding, train, in Shoto's case be protected from the public, and a time skip will happen, or they'll get separated. I think the getting separated thing is interesting.
Yeah.
Like being separated in like different areas in Japan, or
Ooh. Or making
Or around
different
the
decisions,
world,
even.
Ooh. I want them to go around the world so they can have the My Hero World Tour.
Yes. I think, like, the Shoto being protected from the public, I feel like the public might pity him more than anything, or maybe it like, he wants to be a hero, so maybe, like, be a bit side-eye, but, like, Dabi did talk about him, like, basically, like, being abused as well. So I would hope the society wouldn't hate him.
Right.
Seeing the trio not include Ida makes me sad, so I want Ida to do something cool again.
Yeah, I mean, wow, Horikoshi really loves the trio, and I personally am a little tired of just focusing on the trio. But we're gonna be keeping up with the Todorokis for a while. So, but your mention of Ida just made me think how it won't happen. But how wild would it be if Ida revealed himself as a traitor right now? Because Nejire was like, Ida, why are you coming here? They said only flying types should come. He's like, oh, well, my friends are there. I just want to go see. And Ida just like ran over and took off his glasses or something. And we finally, because Horikoshi colors his eyes in the manga as red while the anime makes blue. So he finally reveals that he has red eyes and just goes, oh, cool. I just want to see your faces one last time.
That would hurt my soul.
I would die. My heart would break.
My heart would break, but I'm like, finally, he gets to do something.
Yeah.
He hasn't done anything since Spain, so.
I would have to
That's me with Ochako, to be fair. But she's done stuff recently.
That's true.
Yes, Traitor Ida. I would say, I definitely like the idea of training, too. Training are kind of like, but they kind of had one with Endeavor. We kind of only saw the tail end of it, like when they did the cool stuff with the ending dude. Yeah, I think it's a really great comment. I'm just trying, I guess, like, time, I don't know. I don't know. I kind of want time skip at the same time. I kind of don't. I don't know what I want anymore. But yeah, I definitely think we need to see the aftermath. So I hope it doesn't skip away from this. Like, it doesn't, like, it can't right now because they're still, like, in mid-fight. Like, Best Jean has just appeared and was like, yo, you're all wearing clothes. You fucked.
I do want to see what's going to happen with that. Like, is he going to be able to take down Gigantomachia or what? Like, is he going to be able to save the day? Like, he definitely needs to get his shine because he really hasn't had it yet.
And we still don't know if, like, Shigaraki is just going to leave because he doesn't want to. But
he's
like, I don't know.
knocked out right now, isn't he?
Pardon?
Shigaraki's knocked out. He's a little.
Knocked out old, so.
Oh, but I know Spinner was asking him for orders. Like, he wanted him to order Gigantomachia, but he didn't respond, so we thought he was knocked out.
Yeah, that was the thing. Yeah, he was trying to wake him up because he was knocked out. So.
Yeah, like, it would be very funny. We're talking about the future of My Hero, but, like, it could be interesting if this arc isn't anywhere near over yet, or the fight just keeps going.
I mean, hey, it'd be a good opportunity for Best Jeanist as he's, like, being awesome and saving the day. And he sees Bakugo, who was, taking a stab for Deku, and he goes like, oh, well done, and says Bakugo's hero's name. Like, cause he finally knows what it is or something, or maybe like, cause Best Jeanist got the news of like Bakugo getting a license and decided to look it up.
What do you think it might be? Cause I think we talked about it last week on the pod.
I have no clue at this point, and I think it would make sense if it was Kacchan, but I don't want it to be. I think Kacchan is so dumb and lame. It has meaning.
It has meaning, but like, no. please.
Yeah, because it's like it's one of those things I also like again, Deku is a catchy name and whatnot, but like it's also I don't know. I'll be honest. I think about like how was it Legendary Pictures has the adaptation rights for My Hero Academia for Hollywood, and they're like, oh, can't wait to see everyone's westernized names, and I'm like, how are they gonna translate Deku? Because Deku's like it's a Japanese. It's like it's a play on Japanese words, right? So. Yeah. What are they gonna call? What's Bakugo gonna call? I'm just gonna make up names. What's Blake gonna call Dylan? When he's making fun of him? Hey, dickhead. Oh, and Dylan's like, you know what? I'm gonna make dickhead my hero name. I'm gonna show the world that being a dickhead's not a bad thing. Like, I'm sorry to be so crude, but like, what is that gonna look like? Anyway, Bakugo's name? No clue.
Dominic? And then, like, dummy, but then how do you, cause that's kind of close to Deku, because Deku's like wooden puppet or something similar, or I don't know. I don't know. It means useless. I don't even understand it. But also that's bad. So, I don't know. I like the idea of boom. And like, boom, or what's like an onomatopoeia in Japanese that's the sound of explosion? Cause I know, like, I don't know. That's what I want it to be.
What is his name gonna be?
I think
Koda's name?
Is it just gonna still be Koda?
Oh, Koda's name?
Yeah,
no, Koda's name is Anima, right?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We already got it.
This is what's gonna happen next week. I'm calling it right now. We're gonna see, Best Genius is gonna say, like, a really cool one-liner, and it's gonna cut away to a whole chapter dedicated to Koda. And Banks is gonna have so much to say next week.
No, you know what? If that does happen, and like Koda actually does something, because like, don't get me wrong, like, you know, I hate Koda. I hate him with a passion, but I do give Koda his props when he does do something, you know, heroic, like in Heroes Rising when he saved Bakugo and Deku. Like, I gave him his props for that. But other than that, like, he's useless.
The thing is, why don't you hate Sato? Sato has literally not done anything.
Yeah, I love Sato.
Right.
I'm not really a fan of Shoji, but I like him too.
Mm. Okay, sorry. We'll move on. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't know. You make it too easy to take on Koda. Oh, I was reading, and now we also got another message. But basically, yeah, who knows for Timeskip definitely sounds cool. And we got a message from friend of the podcast, Colton, at SniperKing323, said, Endeavor will definitely be #cancelled after this arc. In other words, most of his base will turn on him, and even other heroes in general. That's really interesting. Well, what do you guys think? I really like the idea of other heroes' reactions. It's something I didn't really think about.
I wonder what All Might's gonna be thinking.
Yeah. Because All Might was already, like, kind of weird around him.
Yep.
And, like, didn't really know, and it's awkward. So, like, yeah, I wonder how other heroes will react, or, like, Hawks will react, even.
I'm already.
You're not muted. Sorry.
That's just, you know what? All Might is just gonna be like, wow, thank goodness, this is why I didn't have kids. I have to see that. I don't know. I think it will be interesting. I think Hawks is in for a rude awakening.
Yeah.
He's gonna wake up and be he's gonna be confused. His wings are burnt. He's got nothing.
Yeah, like, cause now I think he's gonna end up going to jail unless his superiors save him and say that, you know, he was, undercover or some shit like that. But I wonder, like, what does his father think about all of this?
Oh, is his father alive? Ooh.
Yeah, I would assume he is.
Would Hawks go to jail?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta think. Okay, think about it like this. When somebody is an undercover cop, it's like when they do stuff, it's like, I don't know if they get, you know, fined or they get in trouble for it because it's like they were undercover even though, like, they killed somebody. I don't know. I don't know how it works. We need to ask an undercover cop, like, how this works.
But I guess it would be more like, cause Hawks wasn't undercover when he killed twice. Because he killed twice because he was trying to stop him from getting to the heroes and because, like, his possibility of, like, multiplying was too much. But, like, because that was basically kind of it. Or, I don't know. And so, like, will the public kind of demand an investigation? Or, because that's the part where it, like, I don't know, where it feels like the real life aspect of it. But it's not, but then, like, it's not because it's, like, very much separated and fantastical and, like, twice as literally, like, a danger and, like, all that shit. But, and, like, I don't know, I'm just talking garbage here, but I don't know, I do wonder, like, the public's reaction is going to be really, to, like, Hawks and Endeavor is going to be really interesting. And also, like, I don't know, awkward. I'm sorry, I rambled a lot.
No, it's chill.
No, you're fine.
No, you're good. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, we're all just pondering. I'm curious if Endeavor will ever encounter his fan again.
Can't You See Kid, yeah. Does Can't You See Kid have a name?
No, he does. I know in the anime people were calling him. What is the main character from
Natsu Dragon?
He does have a name.
Yeah.
Hiroshi Tameda.
Oh yeah, you're right. It's
Also
probably one
known
of
as
his
Can't You
volumes.
See Kid.
Yeah.
So Can't You See Kid, gotcha.
Yeah.
Wait, this kid is 19?
What?
I thought he was a teenager.
What the?
I mean,
thought
well,
he was like
technically
12.
Yeah, what the?
Nah.
My goodness.
No way.
I love the description of him on the wiki is a plain-looking young man of average height with spiky pink hair. What part of that is average? Is Harry's head? Oh, do you think Can't You See Kid is quirkless? Is he really the Deku to Endeavor?
That'd be cool, I guess.
This is only, I don't
It
know.
would be interesting, but I think he probably has a quirk. Probably nothing too flashy.
I still can't get over he's so old. I was like, he can't go to UA anymore. Is there a hero college? Yeah, is there a hero college?
I don't think so. I think it's very within, like, you know, kind of like Japanese culture to, like, figure out your future right after high school. You either go to university
Hawks
or
go to like college, and they definitely need like, but even that obviously needs like improvement changes and all that shit. But like, I don't know if cops just finished high school and went out. Like, talk about super cops again. Maybe UA itself needs to change. Like, what do they? I don't know. De-escalation tactics, but also de-escalation tactics wouldn't really help anything in the series besides whatchamacallit. Don't kill me. Gentle criminal.
Yeah, because that's the thing with that. Like, this is a society that has superpowers, so you get more radicals than our world has right now. So, doing something like a de-escalation kind of situation, I don't know how well that would work with, you know, as we're saying, super cops here.
Yeah, but I would say I just want the idea of heroes to maybe a bit more return to, like, what Horikoshi, it's not even in the series Horikoshi saying, like, his idea of a hero is someone who reduces your anxiety. Basically.
Right.
But like, I wonder if maybe it could return to that, or just, like, I don't know, I want basically for my future of the series, and maybe we can all say, like, I would like it to maybe explore a little bit about what it means to be a hero, and maybe that'll tie in with My Hero Academia, that, like, Deku is kind of, like, teaching himself, or, like, Deku makes I don't want Deku to make his own hero school, but, like, I don't know.
And I think that's where it ties into Deku, you know, at the beginning of the series, saying, this is how I became the greatest hero. Not the number one hero, but the greatest hero. You know, so it's like, you know, I'm not looking to be top of the Billboard charts, number one, you know. No, I'm going to be the greatest hero, you know. So this is all about, you know, after we get this destroy of hero society in Japan, we're going to build it back up, and it's going to be Deku focused, because he is going to be the greatest hero, and it's going to be centered around him. And we're getting hints of that already with him, you know, learning about these other quirks through his peers.
It would be cool if, like, the media, or sorry, so keep going, sorry.
No, that was it.
Or just kind of like, the media's already here, but if the media, like, notices Deku and it's like, this guy's really cool, and kind of, like, gather around him that way. But also, I feel like that might be returning to the same problem, like, All Might, the symbol of peace is great, but then when the symbol leaves, the symbol dies, ages. Like, if you just replace that with Deku, it's not a solution.
Yeah, and I see.
So I don't know, I agree. Like, I don't know.
And see, that's where Deku's doing things a lot different, because, All Might didn't have all these, like, things with these other quirks from the past users coming up. Like, he didn't have all that, but Deku does. So he has to, that's why, like, again, we're getting all this of Deku learning from his other, students around him. We're getting that teamwork, that camaraderie, to build up, Deku's not the type of person to be a pillar of justice that All Might was. No, Deku's a team player. He is the definition of a team player. He's not the leader. So, with that, Deku's going to be the, like, almost secret weapon for Japan Hero Society, even though he's not really much of a secret anymore. But we're seeing this more with, like, the heroes starting to recognize him. So, like, now we're seeing, like, Rocklock and Manuel, who were there with Aizawa, they're seeing more of Deku. Like, they were in awe of when Deku was going in with Shigaraki. Like, he was holding Shigaraki off, somebody that Endeavor couldn't take on his own. So, society might see, actually, it's happening slowly, but society is seeing Deku as this next almost pillar. Like, I struggle saying pillar because, again, like, Deku's not that type of character. He's not that All Might character, he, again, is that team player.
Yeah, and Deku would kind of be like the hero's hero, almost. It'd be really cool if, like, Deku being a team player and also kind of Jay talked about before how you'd think maybe like the world's greatest hero might be all of them.
Yes, I don't think when he says again the deviation from like borrowing influence from Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece, and diverting our expectations. When he says narration of this is the story of how he became the greatest hero, I don't think he's just referring to himself, but he's referring to himself and multiple people, including Class 1A. I think that theory got a little bit more solidified for me is after seeing Heroes Rising, and like the idea that the original ending was supposed to be Deku and Bakugo both inheriting One for All, and it was gonna be like, oh, this is the story of how we became the greatest hero. And All Might consistently talks about how if they both have potential, and they both have an aspect of each other, saving and winning. That they need, and if they can use both of them together, then they can work to become the greatest heroes. And the Hero Association saying, like, we don't need symbols anymore, we need more team-ups, we need more groups. And so I think it's getting rid of the singular idea of one person and just having a group of people. It's not just becoming the Hokage or the King of the Pirates or wherever the hell Ichigo wanted to be in Bleach. I don't think he wanted to be anything. But it's just this, I think it's just the idea of, like, the world's changing, and so should people's stance on perspective on what heroes are, and that includes just being one person.
Oh, I just like the idea of, like, someone from America shows up and they're just like, they're having that passion, like, would you like to join the Avengers Initiative? Or something. Be kind of cool.
Yes, give me Captain Celebrity back, please.
Yes.
God, yes.
And also just like Deku having multiple quirks, but he needs to learn from his classmates, or as well as maybe possibly other heroes, about how to use them. Because Deku already was all about like writing down all the information about the people, and like that's why at USJ he was able to figure out how to combine people's quirks to make a cool result.
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. That Deku is not like he's more of behind the scenes leader, where he's like, he might come up with a plan. Well, like, but I don't know, because Bakugo and Deku are like the same coin, two halves, same hero. Yeah. But you divide the coin by however many people there are in Class 1A and Class B. But, Banks, did you want to talk about maybe really quickly, if you want to summarize kind of your, like, biggest hope for the series, or just or like Deku being the greatest hero, what you think that might mean? We kind of did both.
I'm thinking that Deku is going to, become the greatest hero, like he said in the start. There were a couple of times where I thought to myself that it's a possibility that Bakugo might become the greatest hero. but Deku might become like the greatest hero in his own right. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like Bakugo's goal is to it has always been to become better than All Might and to become the number one hero. So I do think that it's a possibility that Bakugo is going to become the number one hero and he's going to be the greatest hero, but at the same time, Deku's still going to be the greatest hero because he was able to become a hero in his own right and to become a hero in his own merit. You know, I've already mentioned before is that, you know, I do think that there's going to be a time skip and that we are going to see, you know, more stuff. Hopefully, you know, Deku growing and becoming his own hero. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
But yeah, that's all that I have to say on it.
Nice. So, I think we all kind of want a time skip right now. But I'll be the holdout, so I'm right if we don't get one. No, there won't be one. But who knows? We're probably way too early to the punch, but Horikoshi took a well-deserved break. So, this is what you get. This is a long one this week, but okay.
He needed to celebrate his birthday. So.
Yeah. But, where can we find everybody? Jay, you haven't been on in a while. Where can we find you?
Yeah, well, before that, thanks for having me on again. It's been a while and it's always fun talking with everyone about My Hero. You can find me on Twitter at Jayperior, Jayperior. I don't tweet as much nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can watch me on Twitch, I guess, where I play I sign hunts for Pokemon. And yeah, that's at the same handle.
Nice. And worldwide, where can we find you?
So, you can find me on Twitter at WalkinsMW. You can find me on the YouTubes at Champion Walkins, where I do My Hero Academia content, One Piece content, Attack on Titan stuff, some anime reviews, all that stuff. And I'm back on Twitch playing some games, also at World Champion. I think it's World_Champion 01. So check that out. I'm playing Assassin's Creed 2 right now. And yeah, again, thank you for having me again for another week of My Hero Academia talk.
Nice. And I just realized I've been saying I'm saying worldwide, but it's World Champion, isn't it? So I've been doing it very wrong.
But worldwide is also
I think she's been saying Mr. Worldwide because that's what they call Pitbull.
Yes, that's why I've been saying it, because I find it funny. I'm sorry.
It's all good. It's all good.
I say names wrong. It's bad. I'm okay. Banks, where can we find you? Or not?
You've never said my name wrong, and I love you for that.
Yeah.
I just did an eye wink to the camera. You can find me, your hero, Benjamin Banks, at KingBenji_Banks on Twitter and Instagram. And you can find me on Facebook by typing in Benjamin Banks, and I should be the first person to pop up. If not, then I need to contact Mr. Zuckerberg. And then you can follow my podcast, Leveling Up with Benjamin Banks, where me and my co-host talk about stuff in nerd culture at Leveling Up Banks, and that is on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Yeah.
Nice. And you can follow me on Twitter at Sniper of My Heart, and I am also on another podcast where I talk about Haikyuu, which we talked about a lot on here, but that's at Haikyuu Pod, is the view from the top. And for this episode, if you're a first-time listener and haven't had the chance to look us up yet, you can follow us on Twitter at MHAPod, and you can email us at myheropod@gmail.com. We also have a website, www.mhapod.com. And I am going to shout out two things this time. I'm going to say first, if you can, I would look into donating into the Philippines in some capacity. I would say look into maybe the Red Cross might be cool, as well as there are some good links on Twitter. And that's because the Philippines was hit by 2 typhoons in a row. I think they're still recovering. And also donate to the Okra Project. It's really cool that they provide home-cooked meals to Black trans people, as well as they are working on now doing like therapy as well, which I think is really, really cool. So I don't know, it's a tough time right now, so if you don't have money to spare, I do not blame you. So take care, everybody. And I'm looking down at my notes, and don't dream of bald Deku, and don't eat the cake. It has hair in it. And now everyone, please go beyond! Fly!
Ultra!
And thank you everybody for coming on. I'm gonna hit stop
Thank you
recording.
again for having us.
She's my hero, I got it. Russell Drive. I'm not even using more. Russell Drive.